What's going on YouTube? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. I promised a Ravencoin video before the end of this weekend, and I'm doing it right now. We're going to discuss Ravencoin, but first we're going to take a look at Bitcoin to see the broader market and a quick look at the NASDAQ just to see where things might be going in the weeks to come. So stay tuned. We're going to hop right into the charts. Alright guys, we know I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I simply share technical analysis in hopes that you can use them as you see fit. But remember, you manage your own money and you manage your own risk. If you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It is all immensely helpful and greatly appreciated. I'm only going to spend a short amount of time on Bitcoin and on the NASDAQ just because there's a critical point right now, I think, on the weekly chart. So the big, broader, the macro level. Bitcoin right now is stuck in a trading range on the weekly chart between the 21 smooth moving average and the 50 smooth moving average on the weekly. And you can see it here. Once we broke down below, we hit the 50 and bounced, rejected off the 21, and just recently bounced off the 50. Now, the last time that this happened, where this range stuck like this, was 2008. And we're going to go all the way back and take a look at 2008. And it did this for a while in 2008. You see this was weeks and weeks of just range bound between the 21 and the 50, just range bound. But for the bear market to totally capitulate was the dump below the 50-week smooth moving average. Now, depending on which exchange you look at, this actually hits the 200-week smooth moving average. Here it does not. Here it's slightly above it. But different exchanges do show this hitting the 200-week smooth moving average. And then we had a 200-week smooth moving average touched here on the March of 2020 COVID dump. That being said, this is still looking to me like we could potentially see a sub $20,000 Bitcoin. I would see a target here of around 19,200, and that would be the peak of the previous close of 2018, or 2017. 2017 peak high close would be around that level, and that's where I believe we will touch when we touch bottom. So as the 21 is coming down on the weekly and you see that this range is going to get tighter and tighter, eventually I believe it breaks to the downside and we get a wick down. It doesn't have to be a long term, but you see how weak this volume is. You know, this volume is really, really weak. I think we'll get a big volume spike like this big sell volume where this is 1 week and it was a drop all the way down 35% in 1 week. If we do that from the 50 and we do a 35% drop, that puts us at about $23,000, which could be a bottom. Very easily could be, but I think at the time that this runs, the 50 starts to curl down as well. And I think we wick down closer to 20, but 24 could very easily be a bottom. Now, looking at the NASDAQ really quickly, so the NDQ has been in this same range. Broke below the 21 week, retested, rejected, and now tested the 50 week for the first time and had a nice buyback off the 50 week. I don't think this is going to be the only time we see this. I don't think that this is going to come right back up. It might retest the 21, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think this was a bottom. I don't think this is the bottom at all. And with the macroeconomics and the global economics right now, we don't know what's going on with the European markets, what's going to happen with Russia, Ukraine. Is there going to be another massive fear event? Is something going to happen with Russia? Is Putin going to do something? Is China going to do something? Are the NATO countries going to intervene? Or whatever the case might be. Things could very easily happen that would cause more fear and cause bigger dumps. But definitely keep an eye on this range on the weekly for the broader term, for the macro level of trading range right now between the 21 and the 50 week. And on the futures for NASDAQ, just to give you guys a heads up, the futures is down almost 400 points. So it's at 367 right now as I'm speaking. So it's 2.5% down on the futures. So there's already articles out about the dump that's going to happen. So let's get into Ravencoin. Where are we at on Ravencoin? Ravencoin, we're going to go daily. I'm not that macro level on Ravencoin right now. But so on the daily, the last time I did a video, we have broken out of this wedge here and we retested. And I said after this retest, we could have some gnarly price action. We could have some really bad price action for days to come. and we lost almost 35% over the next 7 days. Yeah, 34%. We are in a position where we are not far off from having that happen again. We're creating a new rising wedge, and there's definitely potential for this to be a bear flag, but we have a fighting chance, at least right now, because we are fighting the support resistance line. This line is currently yellow at 5.659 cents. That is going to be our current struggle. We get above that, then we would at least see another touch of the top of this wedge, likely to be around 6 to 6.3 cents before testing the bottom again. So if we hold this and recreate this as a support, we could see another top touch. If we fall out, we will likely retest at this level. So I'm going to get the path tool out real quick. So I think the most likely scenario is if we break out, we come out and we retest right around that support resistance again, and then we come down and we retest 4.7. That is, I think, the most likely scenario moving forward. The second most likely scenario would be to hold this as support, come up and test this, bounce around inside this wedge for a little bit. The least likely would be to completely hit this and break out, retest this support, and then go up. That would be the least likely. So I think right now, what I think is going to be the most likely, just because of the macroeconomics and the global just look right now, I think we break out of this wedge, come down, we come back and retest 5.6, and then we kind of jam down to 4.7. And on a larger look, we don't know yet if this was a lower low, if this was the bottom, or if we're still in the process of making it, because it doesn't have to happen like instantaneous. We have a high, we have our low, and we have our high, or our lower high, and our lower low, and our lower high. So this could be a lower low already, and we could be making a new high, or we could still be working on this as a low. So keep that in mind as well. We could still be working on the same lower low. So guys, that's kind of it for Ravencoin. That's the scenarios that I see. I see the potential to stay within the wedge a little bit longer. If we can hold support, if we can flip 5.659 cents, the current level that we are fighting as support resistance, if we can hold that and flip it as a support, then we go and at least touch the top of this wedge. If not, if we reject, then we come out the bottom of the wedge, we retest that support line one more time before falling at least to 4.7, potentially down to 4 cents even. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. As always, until next time, peace.